Before we begin, a quick shout out to Rimota's 7188 for this powerful idea. If you have ideas like this, drop them in the comments. I read everything, and your idea might be the next video. Now think about this. What if the greatest villain in one of the most important epics ever written was never truly a villain? What if Ravana was not a monster, but a mirror? A reflection of what a human becomes when power grows faster than control. Because Ravana was not weak. He was not foolish. He was not ordinary. He was something far more dangerous. He was brilliant. And that is exactly why he fell. Most people reduce Ravana to one moment. The abduction of Sita. One action. One mistake. One label. Villain. But that is not Ravana's story. That is the ending of Ravana's story. To understand Ravana, you have to go backwards. You have to understand what he was before he became what he is remembered as. Because Ravana was not born evil. He was born exceptional. Ravana was born into a lineage that combined knowledge and power. His father was a sage. A master of knowledge, discipline, and spiritual science. From him, Ravana inherited intellect, precision, clarity. His mother came from a different lineage. One that carried ambition, intensity, fire. From her, Ravana inherited hunger. And when intellect and hunger combine, you do not get an ordinary human. You get someone who refuses to be limited. From a young age, Ravana showed signs of extraordinary intelligence. He did not just learn. He absorbed. He did not just understand. He mastered. The Vedas. The sciences. Astronomy. Music. Warfare. Statecraft. There was no field where Ravana was average. He was always extreme. Always pushing further. Always going beyond what others thought was enough. And this is the first lesson. Greatness begins the moment enough stops being enough. But this is also where danger begins. Because when you constantly go beyond limits, you start believing you are above them. Ravana was not just a scholar. He was a practitioner. He performed intense tapasya. Discipline so extreme that most people would not survive it. He pushed his body, his mind, his identity to the edge. And in return, he gained something very few beings ever achieve. Power. Not ordinary power, but divine level power. Kind of power that makes consequences feel distant. The kind of power that makes limits feel optional. And this is where the transformation begins. Because power does not corrupt immediately. It amplifies. It takes what is already inside you and magnifies it. If there is discipline, it becomes dominance. If there is ego, it becomes destruction. Ravana became a ruler. Not just any ruler. A king of Lanka. A kingdom described as golden. Advanced. Organized. Powerful. This was not the rule of a foolish man. This was the rule of someone who understood systems. Economy. Control. Strategy. Ravana was not chaos. He was structure. He was order. He was intelligence in action. And yet, he was also unstable. Because no matter how powerful your external world becomes, if your internal world is unstable, everything collapses. Now we come to the most misunderstood part of Ravana. His 10 heads. Most people imagine this literally. A physical being with 10 heads. But the deeper meaning is far more dangerous. Ravana's 10 heads are symbolic. They represent multiplicity, layers, conflicts within one mind. Ravana was not one personality. He was many at the same time. And that is what made him powerful, but also unstable. Because when multiple forces exist within you, and there is no control, they start fighting each other. Each head represents a force, a trait, a psychological driver, desire, anger, greed, attachment, pride, jealousy, ego, mind, intellect, will. Now understand this carefully. None of these are inherently evil. Desire drives progress. Anger can create action. Pride can build confidence. Intellect creates solutions. But when these forces are not controlled, they stop serving you and start controlling you. That is the difference. And Ravana crossed that line. Ravana had knowledge, but he did not have balance. He had power, but he did not have restraint. He had devotion, but he did not have humility. And without humility, knowledge becomes arrogance. Power becomes domination. Devotion becomes identity. And identity becomes ego. Here is the truth most people miss. Ravana knew what he was doing. He was not blind. He was not confused. He was aware. That makes his story more dangerous, because it proves something. You do not need ignorance to fall. You can be fully aware and still destroy yourself. This is where part 1 ends. Because the real story begins when Ravana makes a decision that he knows will destroy everything. In part 2, we break down the exact moment Ravana lost control, why he ignored every warning, the psychological collapse of a genius, and how the battle between Rama and Ravana is happening inside you right now. If you have not watched part 1, go back. The real question is, are you in control of your own mind? Or are your 10 heads controlling you? If you found this valuable, comment your thoughts below. And again, thank you to Ramoda's 7188 for this powerful suggestion. If you have more ideas like this, drop them in the comments. Your idea could be the next video. To defeat Ravana, you don't need to look outside. You need to look within. Also subscribe and share as we launching our Sanatan Taxila archive tomorrow. Share this news with friends and family. Novels that represent Sanatan.